Let's go, baby.
This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up, Padre fan? Welcome to your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, and let me tell you something. What a game. What a game. These are playoff level games. They're playoff caliber games, and the Padres drop another one. And I just realized I do not have oh boy. All right. You know what I'm saying? I do not have the thing on the TV behind me. Sometimes it bees like that. And I don't even have the remote for the TV to be able to do it. So I apologize for that. The TV behind me is going to be blank for the show today. But look, it's kind of like the Padres hitting lately, right? And just one of those games. It's just one of those games. And I will try to do something if I can here for you as we continue with the show. Right now, you just see me and a blank screen behind me. Let me at least come on over this way a little bit further. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, GRIES, at Jim Grease _ on social media. And I'll tell you what a game. I don't even know how else to say it, but it was a great game. And the Padres came back to tie it in the ninth. The Brewers walk it off in the bottom of the ninth. And I don't know. It just is, it's interesting. So hopefully I can get a little help around here and get that remote brought into the studio. But what a game, crisp. Very well played. Just the Padres offensively, man, they don't have what it takes. They just don't. They don't have what it takes offensively, and they're not going to be the team that we think they can be if they don't bring in a big bat or at least a couple of above average bats to help this lineup. It's just not going to get it done, man. They had another really good game today. They played another really good game today, and I don't even understand. I texted the wrong person for the remote, but it's aggravating because they should be hitting better. And Luis Arraez what a job in the ninth inning, works the count full, 101 mile an hour fastball, double down the left field line, ties the game at 3. They had the 1-0 lead all the way to the 7th inning. And the Brewers not even really hitting the ball hard, like little stuff, sac fly, little infield hits, just a bad throw here, something there. And, before you know it, it's an inning and they manufacture a couple runs. It's 3-1. Arraez in the 9th inning takes care of business and ties it up. And then the Brewers walk it off in the 10th. And that was just brutal. They walk it off in the 10th inning. And that was on that was on the home run by Durbin, right? And it was unfortunate that things happen that way because when you think about, what's been going on lately for the Padres, man, David Morgan's been pitching so well, but they put him in bottom of the 9th inning, had just gotten a lead, 101 miles an hour. I'm sick of Padres pitchers throwing first pitch fastballs right down the middle to first pitch fastball hitters. You know what I mean? It doesn't work right. It doesn't work right. And so I don't know. I don't understand why for the life of me that ends up happening still, but I just, you'd think you wouldn't throw it over the middle to a first pitch dead red fastball hitter, right down the middle, and just unable to, close it out for the Padres. And look, you had tied the game. Manny comes up, and Arraez had just taken third base. They weren't even looking at him, and he's 90 feet away. And you look at the last game of that Giants series, and they had second and third with 2 outs in the 9th, and they needed a hit there. Well, runner on third, they have a chance to take the lead. Manny doesn't get a hit. He grounds out to short. And that happens. Manny can't get a hit every time up. Manny's not going to tie the game every single time he comes up in that situation. And again, I apologize for the blank TV behind me. That's something that I'm trying to work on right now, discreetly behind the scenes, trying to get my lovely assistant to bring me the remote for this TV so I could put this picture behind me. Sitting here right now with a blank TV behind me. And so if we can get her to do that, that would be great. Meanwhile, while you're here, look at blank. That's the Padres offense right now. That's the Padres offense is what's happening there. It's just blank. And the TV is blank behind me, unfortunately. And I'm looking, this is what it's supposed to be right here. This is what it's supposed to be right here. And it should be behind me. It's in the StreamYard. You see it on the thumbnail. And let's see, I don't even have it up in here, but just a tough one. Stephen Kolek started the game for the Padres, looked really good, and did an outstanding job in this game. Honestly, did a great job. So 4-3 the final. The Brewers win. You're watching Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. I want to thank you for making us your first watch or listen. Myself, Javier Reyes, your first, your second, whatever it is. We're free on YouTube, same channel. We're free wherever you listen to your podcast. Spotify, Apple, iHeart, Stitcher, Podbean, same channel, right? And we are free on Roku. You down with OTT? Yeah, you know me. Yeah, same channel there as well. So you don't want to miss us, and you won't miss us in all those places. So thank you for that. And today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. And you know how much we love FanDuel here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Right now, new customers, $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. $5 make you holla with FanDuel on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Just getting started. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. It's the Postcast, Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. How do you say we kick this thing into high gear? Let's roll.
This is what you'll be talking about. This is the Padres Postcast, your instant game reaction for the San Diego Padres. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, there we go. Back with it. Come on, back with it. So there we have it. We'll have that up there for you. Un momento, por favor. And that's something. We'll have that picture on the screen behind you. So we're just getting it going here. Padres Postcast and the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. I forgot a step. You believe it? I got the artwork, and sometimes, things just happen. Sometimes it bees like that. But 4-3, the final. Going to give you how it happened, take you through the rundowns, the innings, how they scored. Really, before the 7th inning, it was a tale of one run. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened in this game. If you're looking at the Padres, and I'm working to get the TV behind me to have that logo on it for you. But that's what happened. Caleb Durbin with the walk-off homer leading off the 9th inning for the Brewers. They rebound. They squandered that late lead. It was 3-3 at that point, but it had been 3-1 Milwaukee. Now, obviously, the Padres led 1-0. So 2-run, 2-out double by Luis Ariz. 2 strikes, full count. Ties it in the 9th, scores a couple of runs. David Morgan, who's been great, takes his first loss, and that, obviously is a tough one for him. But Trevor McGill got the win, even though, obviously blowing the save opportunity in the 9th. Elias Diaz, 1-out single. Bogarts with a 2-out walk. Both runners on a double steal. Take 2nd and 3rd. Ariz, 3-2 pitch, double into the left field corner. Beautiful piece of hitting by the best contact hitter in baseball. And, maybe this will load for me here as we continue. But man, oh man, Milwaukee had taken the lead with 2 runs in the 8th inning. Rhys Hoskins, bases loaded, sac fly, and scored Christian Yelich. Walked 3 times today. Isaac Collins singles home William Contreras. And the Brewers had tied it at 1 in the 7th. Jake Bauers sacrifice fly, scored Collins with an unearned run. Those unearned runs are brutal. They never get any easier or any better easier to deal with. And Stephen Kolek, 5 2/3 shutout innings. Jose Quintana, 1 run in 5 innings, and just kind of happened there. Manny made that out in the 9th with obviously the runner on third base. The Brewers went scoreless for the first 15 innings of this series. The Padres pitching has been no joke. And again, 101-mile-an-hour fastball. You know what I mean? From Morgan to start that at bat to Durbin. But again, first pitch, dead red fastball hitters in MLB. 101's not huge right now. It's not a huge number. It really isn't. And obviously you think about how the Padres scored early in this game, and they took the 1-0 lead. Elias Diaz singled in Jackson Merrill, who had singled. So you had 1 in the 4th for the Padres, 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th for the Brewers, 2 in the 9th for the Padres, 1 in the 9th for the Brewers. 4-3, the final score for Milwaukee, 4-8 and none, 3-8 and 2. The Padres committed 2 errors today. They had been playing so crisp and clean. Such great baseball, and the unearned run scores on the sac fly. That's the game right there, man. That is the game, and this is just not something that should continuously be happening with this team. It's very frustrating. You know what I mean? Those errors killing you. And the pitching has been tremendous, but the hitting has not been there. The hitting has just not been there. And you can't, there's no excuse you can make here. It was the injuries early in the year. You can't talk about that anymore. You know what I mean? You're just not a great offensive team. You're just not even a really good offensive team. And thankfully for you, the Giants aren't either, but they're going to be on the market for hitters as you will be. And so when I think about what's happening here, I don't know if it's going to be so easy to upgrade this offense, but it definitely has to be upgraded. Bogarts led off today, Fernando not in the lineup, and his spot came up in that ninth inning. You know what I mean? And it's very, very, and even though, Bogarts bogey drew a walk, nothing wrong with that, right? Absolutely nothing wrong with that. But, just Fernando is a special player, even in a slump, but maybe that day off will help him. He hasn't been hitting at all. It's been really tough for Fernando Tatis Jr. He has just not been hitting. He's not been getting it done offensively. He does other things that impact games, and he will beat out infield singles. He'll steal bases. He'll score runs. He'll do all that kind of stuff, but, it doesn't win games when when he's not hitting. Every once in a while, he'll do some things that'll help you win games that don't involve, and he makes you forget sometimes, right? Because like I said, the infield hits, beating things out, the stolen bases, stuff like that, those sorts of things go a long way toward helping you win in games. I get that. But Fernando's got to be right, man. He's got to start hitting. You can't do anything if you're the Padres in this division, in the playoffs, moving forward, long-term, any of those things. You can't do anything if Fernando Tatis Jr. is not doing his thing. If he's not hitting, if he's not smashing the ball all over the field. And again, since May 1st came along, he has not been hitting anything. He was 183 in the month of May, nothing so far in June, and definitely, legitimately nothing. And so day off today, maybe that helps him. Maybe that helps him. We will see. But when I think about Fernando and what he can do for this team and what he should be doing for this team, that's something that I really need to look at and say, hey, a day off sometimes, that's, a little bit, you just take a day off, chill, get out of that routine, break it a little bit, just relax, and then maybe you come back a lot better the next day. All right, the audience is looking good so far. Smash that subscribe, hit the bell. You know what I mean? Tatis missing his vitamin shot. I'm not even going to respond to that. They better figure out their offense quickly. Yeah, Rob, they better. And Brando 7-2, I don't know what you want me to say to that, but they better figure out their offense quickly. I know I just did a show on ESPN Radio previewing UFC 316 with Booker T, the 6-time WWE World Champ, or WCW WWE. Anyway, high energy on the show, and I was like, man, I need to take some creatine before the show. So maybe that's the shot you're talking about, Brando. But Rob, they need to figure out their offense quickly. Here's the problem. They don't have an offense to figure out. They don't. They do not. Merrill's not a cleanup hitter. Manny, numbers-wise this year, going by what he's done so far this year, and the cluster lately been hot, Manny's not a 3-hitter. And they don't have a cleanup hitter. So Manny and Merrill in the 3 and 5 spots, if you bring in a big gun in the middle of this lineup, they do not have a big gun. And if Fernando's hitting 260, they have no shot. And he hasn't hit home runs lately. He's just been mired in this terrible slump. But they make it so that the pitchers, you almost have to be perfect. They almost have to be perfect to win. And that's something that has not been a good thing for the Padres this year, because you've had a lot of losses, 1-run games, close games, 1-0, 2-1, things like that. And why is this thing not downloading? There's so many issues all the time. Drive you nuts with this thing. And it doesn't seem to work. Their offense hasn't seemed to work. And just like this download that I'm trying to do for you guys with this thumbnail, you know what I mean? And we're going to get that done. We're going to get that done right now, because we need it and you need it. And you know what I'm saying? So we got the TV behind us here. We're going to make this work. Always make it work, right? Always, always, always. Let's see if it's in there yet. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. We're up against our first break. And again, the final 4-3, the Padres tied it at 3 in the 9th. The Brew Crew walk it off in the bottom. And for some reason, this is just not working. I don't understand why, for the life of me. This is not working. The computer's not loading it. It's not downloading. I'm not really sure what is happening here. I'm not real sure what's happening here, but it's not a good thing what's happening here. I mean, I'm going to have to do the rest of this show with nothing behind me. I don't understand what's going on here. So we shall see. It's just not downloading, and I don't know if the computer is just not fast enough or whatever. Just come on, let's go. Really? Just give it to us. But anyway, we're going to take a break and see if I can get this figured out. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. You know what I mean? Yeah, this ain't the goal. No doubt, Rob. This is not the goal. Not this year, not right now, not ever. The goal with this team or any other team is to lose games like this. And, you scored 1 run in the first 7 innings. You got the 2-run double from Arise later on in the 9th inning. But just, again, you're just not an offensive juggernaut. You're not hitting the ball, and it's been too big of a body of work now. It's been way too big of a body of work now. And this thing's not going to load, and this is really aggravating, and I don't know why. All right, so there you have it. But it is what it is. There's a blank TV behind me. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. You're just going to have to take my word for it. It's a Brewers player hitting a home run anyway with a rise in the little box. But there you have it. So we got a couple of great deals to tell you about from our awesome sponsors. Man, wait till you hear about Trade Coffee. And, of course, FanDuel. And a bunch more coming your way. We got the star of the game. We got the turning point. We got a lot of things to talk about, including tomorrow's series finale. Wide open at 1-1. Dodgers lost today. Giants won. They're shrinking together in the NL West. And the Padres have had a chance with those 2 one-run losses in the Giants series, one of which they blew a 5-run lead with Pivetta and Adam. It was Adam again today, man. This dude's just not getting it done. And that's two times in a row for Adam. But, recently he's had struggles with control and things like that. So that's not getting it done either. It's Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Wrapping it up on the other side. Un momento, por favor. Well, I tell you about Trade Coffee. Where are you? There you go. Right there. Boom. Let's be real. I mean, do we not do anything but keep it real here on the show? Coffee is not just a drink, right? Coffee, it's a ritual, a lifeline, the thing that gets you from half asleep to fully functioning. And if it's that essential, why settle for anything less than amazing? That is where Trade Coffee comes in, right? It's the #1 coffee destination in the U.S., delivering fresh, incredible coffee from over 50 of the country's top roasters. Whether you're a cold brew fan or a pour-over purist, they got a roast that you will love. And they have everything that you could imagine right there. The coffee's fresh. It smells amazing. It ruins grocery store coffee because why would you ever? It's the same price. The first bag they send you is spot on because you take a quiz and they learn your coffee profile. How about that? If the first match isn't perfect, Trade will replace it for free until they get it just right. And again, their price is comparable to grocery store brands, which is like patently absurd because it's so much better. And right now, Trade is exclusively offering our customers 50% off your 1-month trial at drinktrade.com/LockedOnMLB. That's TRADE.com/LockedOnMLB for 50% off your 1-month trial. drinktrade.com/LockedOnMLB for Trade Coffee on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Come on, StreamYard. Hey, there you go. All right, where are we at here? We are live, of course, and we are talking about FanDuel. The NBA playoffs are in full swing, man, and every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, and can't miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. And FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live with player props, performance trends, same-game parlays. Fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. Which players are showing up in the biggest moments? And how could tracking their trends help you build your next bet? You know what I'm saying? What about a same-game parlay if you got to read on who's heating up? All kinds of things you can do there. And if you're new to FanDuel, it's the perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA. On the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, GRIES, at Jim Grease _ on social media. 4-3 the final. Brew Crew with the win. The walk-off homer in the bottom of the 9th inning on the first pitch of the inning from David Morgan from Caleb Durbin. And Durbin made him go crazy in Milwaukee tonight. No doubt about that. Morgan takes his first loss of the season. That came after Luis Ariz tied the game at 3 in the bottom of the 9th with a scorching double down the left field line, barely fair off a 100-mile-an-hour plus fastball. Beautiful job by Ariz, but Elias Diaz with an RBI single scoring Jackson Merrill in the 4th. The Brewers tied it at 1-1 in the 7th, took a 3-1 lead in the 8th. Bunch of punch and Judy stuff, you know what I mean? Just like infield hits and errors and just messy sack fly, nothing real, no real hard hit balls, no nothing. But then Ariz ties it in the 9th, and Durbin smashes the homer to win the game. All right, couple of things to do. Short time to do them in. Grieshaber, call me Grease. Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. What do you say we start with where the game, yeah, I'm keeping a straight face, was won or lost?
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And I'm not showing his picture, but it was Durbin with the home run in the 9th inning off Morgan. First pitch of the inning, wins the game 4-3. There's your turning point. Now, next we go to...
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
I mean, who would you pick as player of the game? Who would you pick? Come on in the chat and let me know. Smash that subscribe button. Keep that family growing. Hit the bell so you get alerted when we come your way with more content. Javi's back in full effect after the strep throat thing with Padres Podcast day in, day out, and we're the postcast. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Arise ties the game in the top of the 9th inning with the 2-run double. Big time shot for him. He's playing like limping. He's hurt knee. Hamstrings are messed up. Jackson Merrill had 2 hits and a run scored. Diaz 2 more hits and an RBI. I think Kolek was the best Padre today. 5 2/3, 3 hits, 4 walks, 2 strikeouts. The problem with Kolek, he walks a lot of guys, and you know the walks killed Adam too. He's the GOAT today. 2 runs allowed, 1 earned run, and then Morgan gives up the homer. So the bullpen had been great, but not today, my friends. So your star of the game, I mean, is it Kolek? Yeah, you'd have to say it's Kolek. Meanwhile, for the Brewers, I mean, look, they won the game, right? For the Brewers, they win the game, and Contreras was 2 for 4 with a run scored, and 2 for 2 for Collins with a run scored and an RBI, 2 for 4 with a run scored and an RBI for Durbin. So I'd say Durbin's the player of the game, you know, 2 for 4 with a run scored, RBI, the walk-off home run, you know what I mean? So there you have it. But I have to give props to Kolek pitching another good game today for the Padres. All right, 4-3 the final. They wrap up the series tomorrow. First pitch is early, man, early. So this game starts tomorrow at 10:05 a.m. Pacific time, obviously. Wake up. Brunch and baseball, baby. Brunch and baseball. Bergert on the mound. Ryan is 1-0 with a 2 ERA for the Pods. And Freddy Peralta, 5-4 with a 2.92 on the bump for the Brew Crew. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. Thank you for putting up with me. This has been your Padres Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. 4-3 Brewers. Series tied 1-1. Yeah, everybody's scrunched up at the top in the NL West now after that, right? When you look at the Padres and you look at the Dodgers and the Giants, you got the Padres and the Giants, each 1 game behind the Dodgers. Sunday is going to be fun tomorrow, no doubt about it. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Padre fan. Thank you for watching Padre Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, free on YouTube, free wherever you listen to your podcasts, and free on Roku. Keep your game tight and your mind right. Grease.